All right, hello. This is a just for fun video of how to do painted frogs. So I'm going to zoom in here first on a frog laying in the water, and that's how they look. Their front feet are forward and their back feet are back, and look at the water, how it's got different tones of blue. So in order to do today's painting, you will need your paints out, you will need water, you will need a bit of lemon juice. So I decided to just put my lemon juice in an egg cup, and you can probably see I put a Q-tip in there. You're going to need a Q-tip as well. So to get started on our frog art today, instead of using the paintbrush, because my paintbrush is quite small, I'm going to spray my whole paper with water first. And when I spray it first, then when I put the blue on for the water, I'm going to make a puddle like we usually do. And then when oh, you can see my paper's curling already. When I put my paint on, I am going to get some nice blending color right from the beginning. And what I'm trying to do is paint over it, but leave some of that blending or bleeding colors, we call it. I have to flatten down my paper because I'm having trouble getting it to stay. So there we are. Long sideways strokes, so I'm not using the tip of my brush. I'm more or less using the side of my brush. And I can go all the way to the edge or not to the edge, however I think it looks good. And personally, I am going to put a little bit of purple in here. I was thinking about green, but my frog's going to be green. So just for fun, I'm going to add a bit of purple to give it a pinky purple effect. And I can add that here or there. You can see how it's nicely bleeding into the blue there because my paper is so wet. And the wetter it is, the more likely I'm going to have some nice bleeding color. Now while I let that dry a bit, I want you to look at that frog again. Think about the shape that he is. So I would say his body is mostly an oval with a bit of a pointy nose. And you might want to pause the video now if you want yours to dry a bit. I'm just going to move on and start my frogs in an area that's a little bit drier. The other thing you can do is get a paper towel or a Kleenex, and you can dry it up a little bit. I'm going to go into my green now, and I would like to have two frogs in two different directions on the page. It can be anywhere you want, but it makes for a more interesting picture if they're not exactly side by side. So I am going to make my frog start about here, and you're not going to draw him first. You're just going to think. So he's kind of pear-shaped. His back end is just a little bit bigger than his front end. So can you see how that's a bit of a pear, and his nose is a bit more small? So it's kind of a pear shape. Now his back legs, like so, if I put my picture here, his back legs go out first. So they go out like this, and I want to draw both of them going out. And then they get a little bit narrower as they go down. So my legs go down like that because it's going down into his foot. So they start off a little wider and get a little narrower. And the feet go out again. Out and out. Now you can see how, because I didn't wait, this foot has blended into the water a little bit. I think that one actually looks better, don't you? So I'm going to walk over here and get some Kleenex to dry that. So now look what I can do. I'm sponging it off. So now it looks like a bit of green in the water, which is fine. And now that it's a little more dry, I'm just going to go back. There we are. And make that leg again. There, I think that's better. And you can make like 3 little toes on there to make it look a bit more froggy, more like a webbed foot if you want to. Now the front legs on a frog are very short, but they also go out to the elbow first. So we're going to go out on both sides with little wee front legs, and we're going to go forward see how they are, out to the elbow and forward. So we've gone out and forward, and then again you can put little lines there if you want to, just to make it look like his webbed feet. All right, now I'm going to make sure another area is dry by just patting it with my Kleenex, and if you can see the Kleenex gets a little color on it, and that's okay. If it's wet, the Kleenex will absorb it. And I'm going to have my other frog swimming diagonally this way, or no, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to turn my paper right around so that they can be swimming past one another. So I'm going to make the head on this side, and then my kind of pear-shaped body. So I'm doing the contour outside line first, and then painting in on the inside. And again, it's kind of a pear shape. And I'm going to take my green and make my 2 back legs go down and out, a little bit down and out, a little more water for my paint. And the other bottom leg, you can look at the picture again. Remember how it goes? So it goes down, like that's like his knee. So this is going down to his ankles. And now he needs feet, and he's got big feet, 1 on each side, with 3 little toes that aren't really distinct, but a little. And his front legs are short. They go out and out. That's like his elbow, so now it goes up from the elbow. And his little hand is 3 very close together strokes. 1, 2, 3. I feel like that nose is a bit pointy, so I'm gonna round it out a bit with my brush. There. Okay, I have 2 little frogs there. Now it's a little tricky to see on this picture, but a lot of frogs have spots. And here's how we do the spots. So I think my picture's going to go this way. Look at that. They're swimming towards one another. But in order to do it, I just did the very same frog. I just turned my paper. You might find that easier because you might want your frog going that way, or that way, or that way, or that way. And you can just turn your paper whichever way you want it to go. There's my whole paper. So now I'm going to take my lemon juice. Lemon juice has an effect on this paint. Watch what happens. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Couple of little dots on the legs and the arms. Okay. Give your lemon juice time to work. As it works, what it does is it kind of bleaches out the paint. The drier the paint, the more it will bleach it out. So I'm just going to feel if this one's dry. Needs a little sponging. Look what happens when I sponge it. I get a few different effects on the green. That's kind of nice. I like it. And then I can go dot, dot, and create dots with my lemon juice. And you can see that the lemon juice is having its effect, making a few spots on my frog. So if you want to, you can wait till it's completely dried and do those spots. And then you might want to spot it yourself with maybe a little bit of brown. So I'm going here into, oh, I can't tell which is brown or black. Could be purpley. I think this one's brownish. Two little dots for eyes. And then I might want to make a couple of little spots. Oh, it did get a little purple, didn't it? So now look at how he looks. So his body isn't straight green. His body's going to have some spots on it. And if the effect of the lemon juice isn't quite enough, if you wait till it's a little drier and then just soak that lemon juice in, that will also make it look just a little bit spotty on your frog. So there's the difference you can see. It looks a lot more real when you get some spots on them. And the lemon juice takes a little while to take effect, but you can see some of those lighter places are where the lemon juice was. If you wait till your frog is completely dry before you put on the lemon juice, it's a little bit more like that one. So it has a very interesting effect. And there's the one with no lemon juice at all. You can see this artist has put a few little claws on the frog. And of course you can make them whatever color you like. But I think they're looking quite happy in that pond. And then, depending on what you like, again, you could make some green seaweed coming out of the bottom. Artists often do things in 3s or in 5s, so I think I'll do 5 on this one and do 2 more. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 little fronds coming off. This one looks a little bit wet still, so I'm going to just make it longer. There are no mistakes in art. It's just however you want it to look. And especially with watercolor, if you make something that you don't like, you can fix it up by letting it dry and painting over top of it again. I want some little rocks or stones on the bottom, or maybe just an effect to make it look like the bottom. And there we go. Now I find that a bit dark. I'm going to add just water. If I paint with only water, it makes that black come out more gray, which I think looks more like the bottom of a silty pond. There we go, frogs in water. Enjoy your art.